What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for watching this episode. We had an issue with the audio. We're still learning it just a little bit. So please forgive the audio quality. Next week is going to be way, way better, we promise. We've gotten moved into a new house with a recording studio, and so all these bugs should just be ironed out nice and neat. So please, enjoy the episode. Thank you, guys. What's up, everybody? We're back with episode 4. Topic 4. This is episode 47. Did you know that?
No.
We're on episode 47. Kind of nuts, huh?
I guess.
We're almost at 50. That's insane. Since the reboot.
The rebooto. And we're almost at 52, which means we've done it for a whole year.
Well, that's not true. We've definitely taken some weeks off. But yes.
So, how many weeks have we taken off? Like 3?
I don't know.
We haven't taken that many off.
We're not taking that many off.
So what? We've taken like 3 weeks off, means next week will be a year.
Well, that sucks. It's Christmas.
No.
Oh,
next recording.
Right,
next
yeah.
recording time.
Now it's super confusing. What study hall is for the unenrolled is we have taken a bunch of your guys' UFS topics, and we're going to continue jumping off more. Sorry. It's
He's
really
so tired.
So what this whole week's topics have been about is Will Stull has asked us on Patreon to talk about how to build characters and what their flavor palette looks like under different symbols. So same character, but different decks. We've done Akuma, we've done Little Raptor, we've done Cassie Cage, and now we're going on to Faye Valentine. I want to start off with the Chaos build, just because alphabetically it's first. Chaos is incredibly strong. Chaos is very, very cool. It's very hyper-aggressive. Its main tools that it wants to use is Sadistic Ways, Fatality, which you play Fatality in every Faye deck.
It's expensive.
It's expensive. Faye's expensive. She's a classy dame.
She likes to gamble.
She does like to gamble. Boy, gambling's fun. Sadistic Ways, Fatality, Caltrops, which is insane in her, as well as Sand Grenade. And that is like the main way that we kill people. And all of our other attacks are just like, how do I stay alive? How do I, like, Skull Barrier is nuts in Faye, under 2 of her symbols.
I think under this symbol, she gets to take the most advantage out of Demi Lovato, or as what we call it, or Dita del Lamento.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is a Skull Barrier or Sprengio-esque card, but you immediately respond and gain momentum from it. So defensively, it lets you benefit right there. It's also a high block to do it. So
yeah, totally. It's just like it's and you get to play it as a reversal, which means it's possible that you check a non-block and you add another one in.
Or it deals, because like what, 3 to 5 damage on it.
Yeah.
Faye,
yeah.
Like this card can give you 3 momentum with Faye, essentially, just by itself.
Yes, absolutely.
And so you just blocking with it because your opponent wanted to try and poke you on turn 2, and you're all like, well, now I just get to kill you.
So our foundation lineup is looking like the best card in Chaos Faye is. You think Secret Stash?
Did you not see this deck? Do you not know how this works?
Secret Stash?
Hell yeah!
Could you just stack what you want?
No. Enhance Flip. Search your deck and put 2 cards in your 2 foundations in your discard pile.
Yeah.
So you stack a 4 on top.
Oh, and you just pick up.
You pick up your cowboy battery.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
I said this is the
cowboy battery.
Sand grenade.
Yeah.
Throw your sand grenade because it's a deck.
That's actually super cool.
Did you not see this?
No, I now that you're saying it, yeah, I remember this.
Okay,
But like,
right.
like I thought, like, Face of a Monster Pressure is insane. It just like the way that you beat this deck is by trying to build so that the stun does not matter as much, but like eventually you just want to have cards in your hand because of
deadlock pressure.
Deadlock pressure.
Yeah.
Chaos can do it.
Yeah. You also get access to some cool Nichetta stuff.
Yeah, his Gift of Immortal Blood is very, very cool.
Because you're going to be able to fulfill it because you're Faye.
Absolutely.
Far worse places than hell if you want to draw some more cards because you play reversals.
I think like the coolest thing that this deck can do, but is not currently, is actually play Ancestral Quiver.
Yes.
Do you know what his deck was?
No.
I think Ancestral Quiver is very, very cool. I like that. I like that card a lot. And like the best thing about this Faye deck is actually it gets access to Humber Spiders and Dragons. Whenever I was making my original Faye deck for Worlds this past year, I started out under Chaos exclusively for spiders. But besides that, there wasn't like some absolutely amazing stuff that Faye gets specifically for Chaos.
The only problem with Special Quiver is that it has that 0 mid block, which is doo-doo.
It is pretty rough, but like
It's the same reason why Fade's a little rough from that.
an extra stun too is very good.
But you get access to some really strong cards. So you said Face of a Monster, Outworld Eras to help get rid of cards that are going to screw or mess up your, like Outworld Eras seeing a securing his destiny back to his hand, back to their hand when you drop your sand grenade, so they can't cancel your gain +1 for each of your opponent's committed foundations.
Yeah.
Like to the power.
Woodman's Leaf Shield, Felicity House, like up her sleeves is randomly really cool.
Tijuana Groceries. Oh, you still get access to like Gateway Shuffle as well, because
Yeah, the attack lineup that we're playing is still range tech weapon.
range tech weapons, and so you then also get to benefit from stacking the top part of your discard pile with the damage pump.
Yeah.
NPYUU is another deadlock, like that gain more momentum, and like the deadlock pressure is a secondary kill card. You already have the multiple kind of kill condition with Sadistic Ways, but if you're not really able to get to Desperation, it kind of just sits there at multiple 2.
Yeah,
So yeah, so the +4s you use in the deck to pick up your Sand Grenades are Feigned Interest, War for Armageddon, under Chaos. There's like one more that I don't remember.
And the other cool thing about that is if there's any like really sick Chaos assets, like I know people don't like this card, but I actually think like Fortress of Bones is actually really sick. You know what that card does?
Respond if you make a check, you can commit it for +2 to it.
And its static says
Something momentum. Oh, when you gain a momentum, you can add one more.
if you deal damage, you get the top tier
Yeah.
momentum. So like, yeah, you give your opponent momentum, but man, who cares? It's an extra
Their momentum better say I don't die right here, like
Yeah.
a roll.
Yeah. Or like a Shaolin fighter or whatever.
That's not enough to help you.
I mean, and that card right there is nuts in this deck as well. Discard one of my Desperation, -4 damage,
Yeah, bring it back.
and it'll bring it back. And that card might have also, yeah, like there's some really cool stuff happening in this deck.
And just like with the +4 checks or +4 block mods that we were just talking about to work with Faye, they're also just good cards. War for Armageddon is incredibly strong right now.
Yeah.
It flips over cards with responsibilities.
Yep.
And then a Feigned Interest helps you like not die to any multiple card.
Yeah.
Like you would screw over Tam's deck.
Absolutely.
The mirror match. Or like you don't get stunned out kind of thing like that. Like you just get to do that. Or when it's your turn, if you need that extra piece of powerful number or that extra piece of stun for your Caltrops, that extra piece of multiple for Sadistic Ways, it just works. And I think that's the really cool part about the deck. The cool part is that there's this constant double threat for your opponent.
Yeah.
Your Caltrops is almost always like an opener, and you're going to stun them out for basically all the momentum that you have. But then it's supposed to be the Sand Grenade that comes next, but it could just be the Sadistic Ways.
And if you failed to kill Faye, which is easy to do because of -2 damage on all your attacks, plus blocking, plus whatever. If you failed to kill Faye, that Sadistic Ways has multiple 4.
Correct, because she's at Desperation.
Yeah.
And you don't need to stuff 2 in your momentum because she's
Because
really good at
we're
it.
Faye.
Yeah. And so because of that, it's just a secondary kill condition, and just like we were talking about, she can give +2 to all of her multiples.
Yep.
So these
They're 4
5
damage.
mid for 6s
Yeah.
are going to hit real hard.
Yeah.
That's 30 damage.
Yep.
Nope.
You deal with it.
That's right, 30 damage. I said it right. If she's at Desperation. And if you're a deadlock, you're dead.
The good deck is a little different. So whenever I've made it as a deadlock deck. We talked about symbol identity last week. You can check that out in a playlist or somehow. We talked about good being the options deck, and that's very much what it was. It was all of my cards were very niche, and I put them in like 40 different piles. Like, hey, this card is for this exact situation. But the issue that I had was I wasn't able to really kill people if they weren't in deadlock. I had a card that had multiple 2 on it whenever I built the deck originally under good. but it was, or multiple 3, but it only had multiple 3 when you're in deadlock. Well, they just printed a card that says multiple 2, and if you're in deadlock, it's disgusting. So I think the good deck just becomes a Dark Chirito multiple deck.
And eventually, when you hit deadlock with that deck, they're unblockable if you don't hit it.
There was another option that I heard of. Did you know that this card right here is a tech throw?
Yes, I know.
And so with Faye, you can just pick up Draining Vector every turn.
Yep.
Or like every attack, you just have a 4 on top of your deck.
You can also gateway shuffle it.
You can also gateway shuffle it. Just make it. Yeah, yeah.
Fusion Soul Fist is playable in her. One of those
Yeah.
cards that we were talking about in the cram session. JJ and I said, like, any character across any of these symbols that you can give speed and gain momentum in some way, you can use. They can do both of those things. Not on the same enhance, but you can do both of those things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so if you have the momentum already, get the speed enhance going on Faye, and you can draw 2, gain 2, like,
Yep.
which is really cool. So like,
Yeah, it's that's incredibly strong. The way that I played the deck though, and I actually would probably try this again just because I think this has to be the way that you do it, is I actually think that a good Fae needs to be a Jurassic Jungle deck.
yeah, I mean, you were playing that card before.
I think Jurassic Jungle is still super duper needed. And like the cool thing about Fae is like, then you just scroll past it, she can't get Nutcrackers.
Yes, she does not have a
She
deck.
does not. She's.
I mean, that's why Cassie was so good.
Yeah.
Because she knew it.
And so like I think Jurassic Jungle is actually just like a better card than Graven Castle if your deck is not solely based around Graven Castle. If you do not have a mulligan condition for Graven Castle.
Question.
Yeah.
Would you play Princess Fairy? Is there a world where you play Princess Fairy?
Man. If we weren't, so like you have to play Missile Launcher in her.
You do?
Yeah,
okay.
you
I mean,
have
yeah,
to.
that's right. You did. I
You
think
have to.
You had to play Black Dog's Fangs in her.
You have to play Black Dog's Fang. So maybe, but it doesn't feel good. Maybe as like a sideboard option if your opponent's being a little too aggressive.
Okay.
You just take out take out the missile launchers and put in those. Just get rid of the good cards. Like somebody's bullying you a little too soon, and you can't set up quite quick enough. Discarding one of their cards matters.
Yeah.
So like maybe as a sideboard option, but I don't think you need to enable it.
Yeah, I think it's a little weird just because like so like you said Jurassic Jungle. Do you still play Graven Castle in this deck?
So whenever I played it, I played 2 mainboarded, 2 sideboarded.
Okay. Of Graven or
I put 2 sideboarded castles, and then
you mainboarded
2 Jurassic Jungles.
Okay.
I think sealing missile launcher is way more important than putting in a Woodman's Leaf Shield.
Okay. Or a Big Cyclone, or now a Dark Chirito?
Yeah, I think sealing your attack is way better than whatevering my attack.
Okay.
Dark Chirito is only good really on my turn.
Even
it sets off 74 cards in the game.
Question.
Yeah.
Even now with Mutual Respect.
It doesn't have the good symbol.
Oh, you're right. Okay. Wrong
So
symbol.
no.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's underwater.
Which we'll get to. And I think water's her best symbol. If
Yeah.
I didn't think that, I wouldn't be playing this deck.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, I really dig the good symbol, and I like all the options because Faye is like one of the most interesting characters in the game, and it's probably why I'm drawn to her so much. Is because
You can do so much with her.
you can do so much.
Like,
and
we're not even talking about like trying to find ways to abuse her ultra attack, getaway fire.
Yeah.
Now most people are playing that card in like Jackie right now because
Totally.
of being air ground smash, but like with all these new techs that also came out, like you were just talking about
Yeah.
Draining Vector, like you can
do it now too.
Yeah, so like you can just sit here and like do this looping kind of mechanic or focusing on the +4 block mod and picking these things up every turn. We're just choosing not to because we never really got drawn to that card. So
Yeah.
but you can easily do that kind of stuff.
Water, good, chaos.
Are you looking on Volotech?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
I don't know much, like the new one like you were talking about was the Draining Vector one.
yeah, and that card seems really high. Like discard momentum. If your speed's high, then gain whatever. Draining Vector's just like
Your opponent loses 3.
yeah. Discard momentum. If his
That's
speed's
the
greater
only
than
new
yeah,
one.
that's the only new one.
Where?
I don't know, man. Being able to pick up Sand Trap still seems good.
Is there a world where we play Water, Distraction, Destruction, Fae, with new Jetta cards and giving them a ton of momentum.
That was one of my very first ideas when all the Jetta stuff came out, because I get to pick up Distraction Destruction on my discard pile.
Yeah.
With the board.
So you just had to find a way to get them to momentum.
Yes.
So you have like Thirst for Blood, right?
His card?
Yeah. Jetta's attack or Jetta's Foundation.
I don't think it's Thirst for.
Something blood. Their blood's in the name.
Yeah. Blue Blood, Royal Blood, Blood versus Crips.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And then unmet demands and like some other stuff. Yeah, but like it's possible. I made it on Ultra, but it just didn't look very fun on paper. It looked like it was trying
His
to.
gift of a mortal blood.
Yeah. He's giving that vial of his blood to Bishamon.
I can't tell by the card.
That's okay. That's alright. I read the comic.
Yeah. How much did you pay for that? Don't answer that question.
So moving on to water. Water is just a sig multiple deck. So like the water deck that I have right now is a Windmill Punch Explosion deck. Fatality, Skull Barrier, Spraygeo, just for consistency and survivability's sake. And like the point of the water deck is actually just to sit there and have 6 momentum, or have 0 momentum, and in your turn gain 6 momentum, and then cycle the same 6 cards as you multiple 14 times with 3 attacks.
I think the best way to describe it is that it's actually a combo. It's a combo deck. You sit there and wait for your combo pieces, such as Windmill Punch Explosion. And you almost essentially can't really kill them without those cards.
I cannot. It is not possible.
Exactly. So
it is so much.
It is a combo. It is a combo deck, and so you sit there, and not like as in you're playing the combo keyword, but you know what I mean. In other TCG games, you are playing a deck that wins, and almost 100% of the time, with this win condition when you see your combo pieces, and because of that, it gets shut down by very specific answers, and so your deck is about playing around those specific answers.
Absolutely.
So, which is really cool because like that you can just win any game that you don't see those.
Yeah.
See this kind of thing. So, I think that's why it is very strong, because you either see a bad matchup or you don't.
So like the cool thing about water is it's got like a bunch of really cool options. So the deck that I'm running currently is playing a bunch of little incremental damage because I'm playing so many attacks. Plus 1s across everything is really good. So Space Land is fantastic. The Badger Club is fantastic, but you also get to play under good if you want to. You're just playing as opposed to like the good Faye deck where you're throwing, or the Chaos Faye deck where you're throwing actual beatings of attacks. Sand Grenade is for 3 times your health. Dark Cherry Toe is unblockable and is 45 damage.
We're gonna loot Black Dog Fangs X amount of times.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Instead of throwing these 6 damage attacks, the hardest hitting attack in my deck is the 3.
3 base, yeah.
Yeah, I've got 12 3 damage attacks, 4 0 damage attacks, and 4 2 damage attacks, and I'm killing people who at 40 from pool with 3 attacks, with 3 printed attacks. So like,
yeah. And that just shows how strong Windmill Punch specifically is.
Yes.
Because the deck would not work without Windmill Punch.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tyler Clark.
Yeah. Fatality obviously enables this. And then Explosion is just like the win more part.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I think you still I think if you had 3 Windmill Punches in your hand, you could do it.
Yeah.
Obviously, but like obviously, the fastest combo is 1 Windmill Punch, 1 Explosion, 3 or more momentum.
The biggest thing about like this Faye deck, and you can do this under Chaos as well, I believe. You can play out of your league, just to make sure that your stuff happens.
Yeah.
Because she's incredibly fragile if her ability doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Because her enhance is like a block is a paragraph of stuff. Like there's 1.5 million things to counter her, and so if you don't have that counterplay of this ability can't be negated, like Sephiroth's Wings, which we can't play. But like if you're not playing out of your league, you can't play something that cancels their response.
And like the biggest thing too is because it's a multiple kill condition deck. You have things like Demanding Submission and Securing His Destiny. Securing His Destiny shuts down Explosion. Demanding Submission shuts down both of them. man, I think one of the hardest things that would be to play against is like getting your windmill punches sealed, which is something we talked about briefly today.
Yeah.
With the new like Lilith support and stuff like that,
Or
or Jurassic
Or
Jungle.
Lilith herself, or Jurassic Jungle.
Yeah. So like that, I guess you haven't really play tested against, and it might just be a hard counter. But like that's exactly what we were talking about.
The
Like,
way that you counter that is you actually have to have a windmill punch in your discard pile, and you have to combo with the
yeah, bring one in. Yeah.
bring one in first.
Yeah,
Like,
and just
you
play
know
with cards more
that.
progressive, but
Yep.
like it's not that hard. So
That's
like,
okay.
yeah, I agree. And like there are things that you just have to play around them, and then like, but you know, then your opponent has, I don't know, something dumb, like Prepare to Fight that nobody's playing.
Yep. But yeah, I think Faye's like one of those, and the reason we picked it over Spike is because when you look at the symbols, they're doing some very, very,
Very different,
very
yeah.
drastically different things.
Whereas like in Spike 1, I think the Death on Life deck are kind of trying to do the same
Yeah.
thing. So like, yeah.
I like this topic a lot.
It was good.
I like the whole episode was incredibly fun.
It was actually really cool to do the ones that we haven't done personally yet.
Yeah.
Like the Akuma and the Lord Raptor Fire one was interesting.
Yeah. Might be something that we come back to later and do
Like-
for other
like
characters.
new characters?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I mean I'm already late, so whatever. What if we took in like did this as like an additional like podcast for like part of the cram session? Is like a month passes. Sit down and have like this fun little conversation for Patreon, like for each character. Does that sound like a terrible idea?
I bet you Will Stoll wouldn't mind. Then
Yeah.
he gets to submit this every time for free.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
absolutely.
And he's already on Patreon. So.
I
I mean,
know,
I don't,
that's
it's cool. I think it's a really good way to get newer people maybe a little more interested in the newer characters.
I think like UFS Ultra is such an amazing tool.
Yeah.
But it can be a little daunting. Like
Yeah, it's every card game. There's so many cards in front of you, and you're like, how do I know what's good? How do I know what's playable? Especially when I'm new to the game. So it's essentially doing a deck profile kind of thing, but instead of telling you exactly why this is in my deck or why we're playing this, we're just giving you good alternatives, and you do have to fill in the rest of it. Like
Yeah.
we're not sitting here giving you a deck profile. So I think it could be a really good option, especially for like a new character, and like you might see, you know, the big bad Akuma 2-dot running around and everybody only playing the evil symbol, but us talking about the other two symbols actually make him seem like a really more you said a more character with more depth
yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, he's not
A one-trick pony.
entirely one-dimensional. He's like a 1.5-dimensional character.
Yeah.
Ammunition piece is so broken in him. Like,
Right.
It's actually just.
But the thing is, like, this character will still exist after that card rotates.
Absolutely.
And that card is rotating at this current release rate by next year.
Yeah.
So, like, or that's not true, sorry. Because it's Mega Man 3, isn't it?
Yes.
So, no, it will rotate in 2020 at this rate of releases, which is really cool to think about, that, you know, we have to deal with maybe this format for a year, and then it changes. But obviously, if new things get released, but I think it is not a bad idea if we want to do this. We'd have to ask what the people think.
Absolutely.
So.
The good people. Yeah, leave a comment down in the comment section down below, whether it be on patreon.com/CCG University or on our YouTube page or on Facebook or wherever it is that you know get our media. We need to get our social media back up. I'm having a real issue with uploading stuff.
That's not the job.
I know it's not your job, but I was telling you because like the others can listen.
Oh, you're right.
So with that, thank you very much for watching and stay learned.
Get learned.
See you guys.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this week's episode of Study Hall. If you like this video a lot, go ahead and you can click on this one over here to see last week's video of Study Hall. This one over here is going to be a playlist of our past study halls that we've been doing, or any of our other past content. We're going to have another square, I think right over here. Tam's going to put it right there for me. If you're new to UFS and you don't know what we talked about this week, feel free to check that out if you're new and you want to get to know the game a little bit better. And if you want to support us, we brought it up before, go ahead and click on our Patreon. That link's going to be right over here next to me. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll hopefully see you next week.